Hi, I'm Will Sayre from MovieWeb. It's great to be chatting with you, Josh. How are you?
You too, Will.
Thanks for joining me. Congratulations on Off the Grid. I thought it was great.
Thank you very much.
I spoke with your director, Johnny, recently, who, commended your performance, which I also thought was great. And he said how you're sort of quote off the grid in real life, which I'm sure maybe helped with your performance. And I was curious, love to hear from you if you felt like that sort of stuff, or maybe other parts of your, real life experiences maybe helped in portraying Guy,
Yeah.
fueling this performance.
Yeah, that's one of the first things that drew me to the script was this idea that this guy takes this invention, this cold fusion technology that was intended to provide free energy to the world, but was uh, had different intentions for the government. They wanted to weaponize it, and he took it and he ran. And I think that that was the actiony part of this, and those were the stakes. And I think what the contrast that I loved about this is this guy like left the real world and went off into the deep woods to hide and had to become proficient at all the basics from feeding him like finding water and food and shelter and all these things that I think we take for granted. And I've become a bit obsessed with that myself over the last 15, 16 years is what would life be like if the zombie apocalypse comes and we had to like live off the land? Could I do it? And I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
And I do love it. When we first moved out to this place, it was very rough, rugged. It was like homesteading, if I'm being honest. We didn't have electricity or water. We had a what was a shack in the woods at the time. But we built it up over the last several years, and now we have running water
Nice.
and heat and electricity and the things that and Wi-Fi clearly. But it's been fun to sort of test myself in some way to learn how to do things. And I wasn't very handy when I got here either, but I've had to, we're 40 miles from anything, any kind of store here. So you have to learn how to fix things and make things work. And so it's been a really fun. It gives me a little bit of purpose, it's something that I can teach my kids. They can teach their kids someday. It's a really beautiful place. We make a lot of really fun memories. And although Will's story or Guy's story in this movie, not Will, you're Will, Guy's story in this movie is, he had to do it. And so you play with things like survival, loneliness, the yearning for human connection, knowing that there's impending doom at any moment when he knows they're looking for him. He's got $1 trillion invention that he's holding tight.
Right.
So he knows they're coming for him, but he's found peace in this. He's found peace in the fact that he's sort of been able to live completely disconnected from the world.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's very interesting and great job. I mean, just from what I can tell about what's behind you, I mean, that's congrats on putting that little home together. That's I could never do that. So
Oh yeah, you could. You could. If
no.
I could do it, you could do it well.
Yeah. I guess if I were forced to, I'd put something together like a tent or little shack or something, shed. But no, that's great. And yeah, everyone's rooting for Guy, and you've played a lot of likable characters over the years. And I remember seeing with my brother, the OG Transformers movie in theaters back in 2007.
Yeah.
And now here we are years later. There's buzz about there being, the prospect of a crossover movie with G.I. Joe. So
Oh,
having
really?
been there from the beginning with Transformers, I was curious if, if there's anything you've heard about that or anything you could share or wanted to be a part of it or anything like that.
I haven't heard that, but that's a really good idea. But maybe they have no intention of involving me in that, but I sure would like to.
Yeah. Of course. And then I of course I watched Ransom Canyon. I just thought I'd mention, and I reviewed it for our site MovieWeb, and I was a huge fan. I spoke to Jack Schumacher at the time when it was released, and here we are with season two being greenlit. So congratulations on that. That must be very
Thank you.
exciting.
Thank you.
I know that's a recent news. I was
I
curious.
start to think about what, you know, because I've been doing this now for 25 years, and the stuff that I'm drawn to is stuff that is like Ransom Can. That's very much about like family and legacy and land and water rights,
Yeah.
love, passing things down to the next generation. Um, it's somewhat similar to what Guy's dealing with, I guess. Guy's situation is quite a bit different, but you know, it's really about protecting what he believes is right, and same with Ransom Canyon. He in his heart believes that, you know, no matter what, we're not gonna give this up. This is part of our family. And for me out here, it's the same thing. It's like I just it's not even about anything other than bringing the families closer, making memories, teaching the kids some of the basic things that I think they need to know.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what draw if I'm drawing a parallel between Ransom Canyon and Off the Grid, it's there are some similarities for sure. And
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because I'm just getting older and I just like more simple things. I don't know what the reason.
No, I mean, when I was watching Off the Grid, I was like, oh, I hope the Ransom fan base, I hope I think it's a great follow-up to that. I think they'll see Guy and be like, oh, this is, it's, it's a great little, next
I'll tell
Josh
you what,
project.
I'll tell you what, my wife was happy to see that beard and that long hair go. We hadn't seen the movie, and I took her to it. We had a premiere a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, I was a hairy monster. I can't believe I was able to grow my hair that long or my beard.
Yeah,
She's,
I could never. It would be all patchy and weird. So.
yeah, well, that's what hair and makeup's for. They could fill all those.
Yeah,
All,
right, right. I mean, I'm sure you've already thought about like the potential for season two of Ransom. Is there anything with Statton's journey or just in general in that community that you'd like to see take shape or
I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, honestly. I totally trust April Blair and that writing team. They're really,
yeah,
really, really good. So I'm guessing it's going to be fun. There's probably going to be, you know, more tension between Statton and Quinn.
oh yeah,
Uh, but also, I hope that there's some struggle with, this land that he holds so dear, and
yeah,
he doesn't have any family left, so it's about extended family at this point, and passing it on to them. So uh, it's there's definitely a lot of different directions the story could go, but I trust that April and her team are going to do an amazing job.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as they did with season one. So but yes, in the meantime, congratulations again on Off the Grid and yeah, it was very nice chatting with you.
You too, Will.